What's good, people? It's your boy Snow,
Ramon.
and we got IGZ topics. Today's topic: Nintendo Direct, January 2013. So, for you guys who don't know what Nintendo Direct is, this is like Nintendo's own personal press conference where they get to address the public, address the fans, or the customers as they like to say, and fanboys, media, etc., etc. They unveil new games, new stuff for the console, vision for the company. So, just to recap again, the Wii U is on the market. This is their next gen. It came out November of last year. Doesn't really seem like it was an event, but that's neither here nor there. That's not here or there. So, one of the major things that they spoke about was a technical thing. Updates to the software to make getting back to the screen quicker, to make some general user interface stuff quicker. But that's it. Like, that's one of the huge functionalities that's coming in two stages. There's a spring update, and then there's a summer update. Spring update is supposed to bring a whole bunch of other stuff, right?
They didn't detail any of that.
Not really. One that they kind of went in a bit was communication in the Miiverse, which is their community, right? So, what Iwata said himself, that it's difficult to explain due to the unique environment of Miiverse.
Or lack of environment is what he meant to say.
Only true Wii U owners know.
All five of you.
Right? So, here's what he was talking about. There is a channel for the games, right? There's a community per game. But there's only one forum per that game in the community. So Zombie U, which is one of the examples, right? Say I'm having trouble in Zombie U. You're my friend on the Miiverse. If I post or take a screenshot, post it up there. If it's spoiler, I can block the spoilers. We can conversate on that.
This is all from the
This
console?
is all inside of the console.
That's dope.
No, this is the social feature that I'm telling you. This is moving forward. You know, the other two consoles is going to have to obey by this.
Okay.
Right? And then it's not just limited to me and you. You see it right away because you're my friend, but other users playing this game can also see it. Now, one of the problems was the multiplayer and the campaign dudes had to be in the same feed. So what they want to do is separate them.
Right.
Have the campaign people in there doing their thing. They can all talk about what they want. Have the multiplayer guys doing what they want.
Okay.
So that's something that's expected to be a good interaction for the future. But for right now, it's working, and they consider it a success.
Okay.
Nothing.
What do you?
Okay.
There's 4 games, so there's 4 universes, 4 Miiverses. I mean, like, what does this have to do with real games?
So what he said is that through this Miiverse of having this community per game, that they were able to create a village of people that's working. The feedback is great, and I won't front. The drawings that they do in the Miiverse and the feeds and all that stuff is cool. The snapshots of the game for help and whatever is cool.
I get the feel like this is all Nintendo developers doing this shit.
Like it's not outsourced yet, right?
No, like regular people who probably don't own a Wii U because they own a Wii. It's another discussion for another day.
Okay.
Don't really care about. I mean, we're talking the Wii Sports crowd. What snapshots are you gonna take of like what? What do you need help with Wii Sports? Because let's be for real, anyone that owns a Wii only owns one game. The one that came with it.
Which took up half of your memory anyway, right?
So
along with the update.
I think that's a trend that continues to haunt them on Wii U.
Okay. So here's the next thing dealing with the Miiverse. And he used this like college football thing as an example. So apparently people were watching. This is part of Nintendo TV. I don't know if I said that right. TV. 2 eyes after the V.
Yeah.
So they was watching sports, mainly college football.
Okay.
Right? And they were able to tag the event and comment, and people were able to talk on top of it. So I don't know if you guys have this service, you guys use it, tell me how it works. I'm not sure if it was the TV running through the Wii U playing and you guys were using your gamepad to type in and have this conversation with people and have the community per game, or was it you subscribe to a tag, kind of like if you follow on certain tags on hashtags on Twitter, and then that's all that's just going to show up from that game. I'm not sure how that worked. From how they showed it, from the parts excluding the game because they couldn't cover that rights, but the feed looked good. It looked cool.
Okay.
They call that the early success. They said,
but what is a success? That they executed a concept or that people adopted it?
I'm wanting to say that he's going on success based on that the community that's on this right now has adopted it. And that they're using it.
They didn't give any numbers on how many people use it.
No one's giving any numbers on anything. He did say that there was never a TV experience like this before. And I will, based on what he said...
Interactive? Is that what they're pushing? Is that how they're coining it? An interactive TV experience?
I think it's a combination of second screening with your TV, which most people already do with their laptops, tablets, and phones. But the fact that you have it on your gamepad, that's probably going through your game system, and you have a community.
I gotta see this. See this.
So that's one of the things where we can't really.
Right.
It sounds dope.
Do we have to go and buy these fucking things?
Not yet.
Because I feel like he may have a point that only people in this universe understand the dopeness.
He may have a legit point. And it's one of those things where you want to double dutch in and be like, yo, man, nah, that's bullshit. But then it's like, here's the exciting part of a new console.
Yeah.
And this is why the rumors of the PlayStation, the Xbox, the next ones are going to be announced at least this year. Because technically, they can't fall behind a potential technology push like this for gamers. Now, again, you can also attach screenshots to this. So with the Zombie U example, you can do the same thing for the games. Mm-hmm. Right? Scribblenauts had feedback out the wall, he claims. They were taking screenshots, they were creating stuff. The point was, the people that have it, they're using it. They're doing, like, you know how sometimes we get these phones and you get all this core dual this and you don't,
no one uses
you only do the
text
dual
message, right? Yeah.
Or a text message.
Okay, I got you.
So the point that he was trying to make is that the people who are using this product that are on our Wii U universe, the Miiverse,
are taking advantage.
They're taking advantage of it. It's not just there; they're actually doing it.
All right.
Right. So
then that technically would be a success.
Right. Because I can't tell you how many features that on both systems that I currently own. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not using.
Right.
For both.
I agree.
Right.
I'm the same way.
And that's just stuff that comes with the system. I'm not talking about anything that I had to purchase separately.
Right.
Right. So then, moving along, one of the big news was virtual consoles.
Okay.
So the Wii U had it. I mean, the Wii had it already, right? Virtual console. You want to know? Sir, behind the camera, would you happen to have a Wii U console on your Wii? A virtual console on your Wii? No?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
He hasn't turned his Wii on since he bought it.
Rightfully so.
It's now owned by the Dust Bunnies.
Point taken. So, the virtual console is basically a rehash of what they did in the Wii, where you have these games from the Super Nintendo era and the Nintendo era.
So like arcade?
You can say arcade, yeah.
Okay.
So you can bump it up onto the Wii U. Now, there's this anniversary of the Famicom, the original name of Super Nintendo, the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo, I think it is, or the Nintendo, whichever one. It's the 30th anniversary, so they're gonna do this promotion where it's gonna be like 30 cents for these certain games for a certain amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
and then if not, they go back to their regular price. But if you previously owned them, you're only gonna be paying the adjusted price. So if you own them on the Wii U, if you own them on the Wii and you try to bump them up to the Wii U with the advanced features, it's going to cost you. But if you have it from the Wii and you try to transfer over, the confusion is that, well, I have to pay $1 for that. No, you just have to use the Wii part of your Wii U to access those games. What they're doing now is redoing it and having it so that way your Super Nintendo run, you go through a straight run, right, of Mario. One Mario all the way through, quick as possible. You can share that.
Okay.
You can share that on your Miiverse feed. You can share that. People can talk
dope.
about it. They can take screenshots and all that.
That's dope.
So that's the cool thing that they want to do is they want to get the virtual console part upgraded versions of these games so that way they work with the Miiverse. If you don't care, you don't have to spend $1 or $1.50. Nintendo's $1, Super Nintendo's $1.50 for the old content that you want to bring over. You could just, like I said, go into the Wii part of your system and use those as is. Now, here's something new coming to the Virtual Console. The ability to do Game Boy Advance titles.
What did Game Boy Advance have anything worthwhile?
No, right?
Yeah, it did.
Like Super Mario, I think that was
Game Boy had like Fire Emblem, which the Nintendo crowd fucking loves. Manish Cat, Metroid Fusion, Zero Mission, and then I think there was one more. Oh, Mario, Luigi, Super Saga, and WarioWare.
Ah, Wario. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there's a couple of notable titles that are on the Game Boy Advance, and then there's more. You should comment, let us know some more. Some of those titles I actually know about because I was in that era, but those are some notable titles that people will buy on their Virtual Console if they could play it on their gamepad or through their TV.
Yeah.
So that works. I don't know what the pricing on those would be. I think that'll probably be the third tier, maybe.
We're talking about $3, $4, $5.
Nintendo, they're talking about $3 to $4, and I think Super Nintendo was like $5 to $7.
I don't find that to be terrible. I don't think that's bad.
I just don't. I agree. I don't think it's that bad. It's just a point of I don't know if you can get me to pay that much for a game that old without the physical cartridge in my hand.
Yeah, but
which may cost me more. But the kicker is the Miiverse. If I have a Wii U and I invest into the ecosystem of Nintendo, the Miiverse part of it, because I used to be pretty awesome at some of those. That's when I would say I would challenge you to anything in that era, because I can put numbers up, the scorecards, like I could do that stuff. You know, maybe I want to show off.
I think you need to get a Wii U.
So, as I mentioned before, the Virtual Console, the pricing. If you had it before, you don't have to pay for that. You can just shift your stuff over from your old Wii. That's that. If you want the upgraded experience, you would have to pay the $1 or $1.50. When you go into the store, you will automatically see the reduced price because it registers that you already had it to your account. So that's the cool thing, because I've seen on other services where you got to jump through a couple of loops.
PSP to Vita.
Whole bunch of shit. So, like I said before, the 30th anniversary of Famicom, which was NES in the USA, UK, they have the VC tryout campaign. And that's a couple of games, 30 cents throughout the duration. The first game in January, which you can download right now for 30 cents, and you will pay 30 cents, it's yours for 30 cents, during the campaign is Balloon Fight. And the reason why Balloon Fight is first is because Mr. Iwata was a developer on that game.
No fitting.
February will be F-Zero if I had a Nintendo Wii U. that would be the one I'd get. No questions asked. 30 cents, F-Zero. I don't even know why you guys don't even continue to make that a franchise. That's like...
What's the name of the PlayStation one?
For F-Zero?
Yeah.
Like that win against F-Zero? Wipeout?
Wipeout, yes.
Yeah.
Those games seem to be popular.
I think they were Omega popular with us. I don't know if they're that popular with
Regular gamers.
With the ones that came when their first console was like the end life of a 64 or a GameCube era. I don't think it's that popular with them. Right? Because remember, that's the futuristic shit.
Yeah.
And they like it's 2013 now. If you play Mega Man, you know that shit is far off. Fuck Capcom. You know that shit is far off. Right? March, Punch Out, featuring Mr. Dream. I'm gonna put that cover up because I want y'all to hear what I said.
Mr. Dream.
Featuring Mr. Dream, Mike Tyson, right? Kirby Advance in April.
I saw videos of Kirby Advance.
That's decent one. That's around the time when I was jumping out of the Nintendo range, but that's a decent one. May, Super Metroid. June, Yoshi, which is a very successful game. I got to say something in a minute. In July, Donkey Kong.
Why not?
Those games, when they're in duration, they will be 30 cents a piece.
Which Donkey Kong?
They just said Donkey Kong.
Okay.
He didn't say which one. He didn't show a screenshot. He didn't do nothing. So I'm willing to bet it's the original Donkey Kong with Mario at the bottom of the map.
I hope not that one.
I don't want it to be that one either, because if it's the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong, which is Donkey Kong Country, so now I'm starting to think that it is the other Donkey Kong.
Damn it.
That means if it sells well, we will get a new one. Shout out to Rare Entertainment.
Such an epic game.
Right. So, hold on. Pikmin 3, Impact, Snapshot, that bullshit. Wii Fit.
What's the topic now?
I already covered Pikmin 3 in the Wii Fit. Alright, cool. Let me jump into it.
Wait, we're doing topics though, not the report, remember?
Yeah, I know I'm doing topics.
Okay.
So, another thing about the Miiverse, which is going to cross over with the Wii Fit U, is you know it's coming. You know it's coming. This is expanding the Miiverse even further. So I already spoke to you about per game community.
Yeah.
So now, on what they're saying is that what Wii Fit U is that instead of just it being a broad community, you, Tawan, the PlayStation hater, can have our own community, private, and we can track each other's charts. We can push each other. We can motivate, send each other's messages through there. When I do my stuff and it reports directly to you guys in that group, same vice versa.
Okay.
So now we're talking about closed community. So that's another upgrade that they're trying to add on to the system.
Do people take it that seriously? Because
the
it's
Wii
getting
Fit
really
from the last one,
granular.
yeah. Remember, people were losing weight with the Nintendo. Remember that campaign? Adults are losing weight using the Wii. So that fits into that.
And then Connect came out. What happened?
They didn't have the board though. Remember, it was that board that was moving units.
Okay.
That was a little different. The Connect did its thing, but it was that board that helped schedule that experience for them.
All right.
That's not saying either one was wrong.
Because my thing is, this is a really granular move at this point.
Right.
With the whole closed community on top of the community thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better. It's got to have like a good following.
Right.
Well, this is a lot of effort for something that's just pointless.
Right. So the topic for all of that was Miiverse is upgrading, but in spring, right? Create user-based communities, expand the communities per game, more than one official community, usability functions, filtering functions. Filtering meaning there's so much going on, you can't segment what you want to see in your feed.
Right.
Kind of like how we do on Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. Right? They're going to get that in there. Then, he said, a little bit down the pipe, we're going to give you smartphone access when you log in with your ID stuff. so you can just have access to your Miiverse.
Okay.
Then he followed right after that and saying, we're going to give you an app, smartphone app, so you can access the Miiverse, network ID, and password, which is a la Smart Glass or the Microsoft Xbox official app if you don't have the ability to have Smart Glass on your device.
All right.
Right? At the downside of all that, from January to about March, no games.
That's
None.
A long time.
None. So the 25 games you got, if you were happy to find one in there, you have nothing left. Now,
It's just stagnant. The
function
whole time.
versus what do we put another here?
Availability, just usability. But you would figure function. I don't know. That's a long time. And these games are specifically forbidden from being released because of this.
I think that the entire holdup between January, February, and some date in March is because that they want to make sure that these games moving forward have access to these functions, the bare minimum.
So they're probably mandating the developers to do it.
They probably gave them more time to polish up their shit for it too. Now, do you, at this early state in the game, when they can kind of play around, do you feel like it's like Nintendo coming late to the game with achievements? I mean, sorry. PlayStation coming late to the game with achievements.
Yeah, but there was still games coming out in the interim.
I feel the same way about that.
I don't know. This goes hand in hand with the notion that if you're gonna be late and unprepared, I'm sorry, if you're gonna be first and still unprepared, then why the hell are you first?
Okay.
So by the time Nintendo even starts to get it together, Sony or Microsoft is gonna be a foot in the market, and it's over at that point.
I say when March happens, the madness is really going to happen between PlayStation news and Xbox news and a random third competitor news. Sorry, fourth competitor because Nintendo is part of the three. So it's like, so when March happens, moving forward, will be a large lineup of games. Stuff that for Nintendo fans will fucking blow their shit over.
But nobody else. That's the problem, just Nintendo.
Yeah. He said on camera, Mr. Iwata said on camera.
Iwata.
From Iwata, I know how to say that, I'm just playing. From March to summer, we have a lineup coming out that will help feed the need that will go hand in hand with all these functionality stuff. The games will go on top with the functionality to create that user experience. And I assume there's going to be some other Nintendo TV stuff thrown in there too, right? So we're talking Game & Wario. We're talking Wii Fit U, like I just mentioned. Pikmin 3. Lego City Undercover, which for me looked very, very, very fucking cool.
What is this?
This is like, I hate to say this, but this is the easiest way I can say it right now. The Lego City Grand Theft Auto.
I'll rock with that.
Right?
And this is a Lego game.
This is a straight up licensed Lego game.
I'll rock with that.
The shit look good.
Lego
Right?
games are dope.
Yes, they are. Stop not adding online capabilities to these fucking Lego games.
These games are dope.
I don't have someone to sit in my house with me to play Lego. I need someone on the internet. This is what the internet is for, right? Then they have the wonderful 101 from Platinum Games. Shit's, to me, it looked Pikmin-ish, which is super hero-ish, right? Bayonetta 2 footage was shown. That's a big deal.
Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2. Footage of Bayonetta 2 was shown. Like, that's a big deal for Nintendo fans.
Is that that's the action adventure thing, no?
Yeah. It did numbers. The first one was great. I think Sega's behind it. Right? So then, new titles were announced. 2 of these titles, the first one I'm going to say, will be playable at E3. In playable form. That's a new 3D Mario Kart. You knew that was coming. And a new 3D Mario action game. You knew that was coming. I personally feel those should have been launch titles. At least Mario At least the Mario arcade, the action game should have been a release title.
Yeah.
But maybe those functionalities that they're trying to implement was the reason why it's not.
But we can't hold Nintendo to that standard because Microsoft will come out.
No. Yes, we can. You know why? When did you first join the Nintendo revolution, sir?
I did it.
NES? Super Nintendo?
Super Nintendo.
I
had NES.
Okay.
I didn't get it I have like a year late.
Doesn't matter, because I don't even think I got it a year late. I think I got it later than that. The point I'm trying to make is when I got a Nintendo, when I finally got one,
right?
Mario was in that bitch. When I got a Super Nintendo, Mario was in that bitch.
Okay.
When my brother got the Nintendo 64,
Mario
was in that bitch. We both jumped ship on GameCube, so I can't.
Well, I see your point.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, what I'm saying
it's like if I bought a Sega and Sonic is not in it,
right?
What the fuck I'm doing with this?
But let's not judge them based on themselves. If you look at Microsoft, I guarantee that Halo won't be a launch title.
No, I doubt that.
I guarantee
but I
that
can't hold them to that.
Gran Turismo 6 won't be a PS4 launch title.
I can't hold them to that either.
So it's like, okay.
Because don't forget,
it sounds silly.
Don't forget Reloaded. Don't forget Parappa Rappa, Banjo Kazooie.
Right.
You know, Crash.
Right. And it's like, okay, well, you know, after dudes of the, you know,
not Reloaded,
Microsoft,
mm-hmm.
they're not doing it, then why should we nail Nintendo to the wall for not having? And there's a Mario, isn't it?
Son, Mario sells Nintendo. Yeah, there is a Mario,
right.
But it's not the Mario.
A is better than none.
I don't know.
I think they realized it.
Next thing coming is the party game lineup, which I also think should have been the first on the lineup too. Because now this is where the Wii U gamepad shines.
Okay.
Can I see that real quick?
Yes, you can.
So 1 gamepad per console. I'm holding on one end. He's holding on the other. We're playing, you know, Skelly. Mm-hmm. Not Skelly, but like, what's the other shit? Foosball?
Yeah.
We're playing air hockey. Yeah, knock hockey. We're playing some other shit where both of us can hold the gamepad and play together. We playing some other shit where you put the gamepad here. If you got the nunchucks, you put them here. And we're playing pretty much like, what's the game with the color Twister? With our fingers.
That's interesting.
This is the adult market. And the kid market, which is why Nintendo never fails. They just fail with the hardcore shooter crowd. You get what I'm saying?
Do you think you'll buy that to have our next drunk party?
If I had a child, that would be in my house.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds interesting.
Sounds interesting, but my point is, why is it so far down the line with that technology and use of the gamepad? Yeah. Granted, you're only going to get about 3 or 4 hours out of the bitch anyway.
True.
Right?
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with Nintendo. Something's not adding up.
Yeah. A new Yoshi was announced. It will be done like Kirby with the yarn.
Any footage?
Screenshot. It looks like Kirby with the yarn. Remember the yarn version? Yeah. Like that. So it should be good. And the last Yoshi game was in 98 for Nintendo 64. That's a while.
You think Nintendo's losing their thunder?
Let me get to the end of that. There's a new Fire Emblem game coming out, as I mentioned earlier. But this one's going to be a cross title with Shin Megami Tensei. And this is a company, a collaboration with Atlus, a company that I've known for a long time. And no disrespect to Atlus, I swear I thought you guys were dead with Midway. Like, around that time. I didn't know they were still making games.
Yeah, they did the shooting one, or the fighting. What was the name of that fighting? Was it Killer Instinct?
I feel like it was like World Heroes Jet or some shit like that. Like, I feel like it was something mad obscure. It was something that I played and I know that I liked the game.
Right.
And then there will be 2 Zelda games.
2?
Yeah. So Zelda the Wind Waker will be a HD remake, but really remade to fit all that other stuff, but upgraded to the control scheme, the way we play today, the color scheme, HD wide, because people might have missed this on GameCube because he said it himself. The GameCube had a very small install base. So the Zelda game, which has a large following, a lot of guys might have missed that.
Right.
So not only is he going to bring that back to HD, he's going to deliver a very great product. And they did show some screenshots of that, where if I was looking forward to it, I'd be happy to accept this game as a prerequisite to the next brand new Zelda game that's coming.
They got the same studio working on that? Huh. Okay.
Right? So, they didn't really say what the new Zelda game would be, but it's there. It's coming.
It's coming.
That's a Nintendo title that, if I'm buying a Nintendo World, that's a franchise I want to hear when your new system is coming out.
I want to see it first day.
You get what I'm saying? I would love to see it. Now, that's a console buying thing for me as a player. Maybe not for you, but for me as a player, Zelda or a Link type game.
Okay.
Not Mario anymore for me, but at least Zelda. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, at the end of his presentation, he left with a big red X.
Who's that? What's that for?
Have you forgot, sir? The red X with the
Well, I probably did. I'm thinking
Xeno.
Ninja.
Xeno.
Oh,
Yeah,
Xenogears? Oh, that's right. I saw that video. Yes. What is it called?
Something inside the Xeno saga.
It's called
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yes. It looks good. I'm an old school RPG fan. So when I saw that, my eyes lit up. Xenogears is literally like one of my top 3 games of all time.
See what he said? This is why Nintendo doesn't die.
I'm gonna get me a Wii U.
This is why Nintendo doesn't die. People are giving Nintendo hate, including myself, because I'm a customer first, including the man behind the camera, Mr. Taiwan. But this is why Nintendo doesn't die. And if I was still an RPG fan, I would be invested already. I'd be waiting. If I didn't have one already, I'd be waiting for this title, right? Because they catered to the RPG, they catered to the children, the super casual, and the adult. When you have that box, those hardcore players, you're either in or you're not.
Right. And they're so scattered. They're PlayStation, they're Xbox, they're PC.
So they have their own marketing.
Right.
They have their own nucleus of shit that they don't have to worry about. And this is why they don't. The Pro Controller is just a fucking tease. To be real with you. Can you imagine playing...
Just to say because they had to have it.
Pick an old school RPG game, anyone, and think about having them on the screen and all your shit accessible from the gamepad.
Let's go.
That's game over when it comes to RPG elements.
Let me tell you one thing. Now I can agree with you. I've pondered for almost months at a time about buying a Game Boy because I had Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Final Fantasy Tactics, I can't get enough of that game.
Yeah,
and I'm still thinking about buying a Game Boy to get just that game. So that is your point, well proven.
So, is Nintendo falling off?
Probably not.
There's some smooth criminals.
Probably not.
That's all I got to say about that.
I agree.
Anything else?
They got me. I didn't even know they got me.
We'll see you in spring, Mr. Iwata. Good job. We out.
Peace.